Lunch can often be the second-class citizen of meals. Some people just smash something together, while others skip it entirely. But today, we'll show you how to master the midday meal with crispy falafels and a soup and salad formula that'll tick off all your flavor boxes. It's like a warm hug inside of my body. And we'll go to Pfennings Farm for a first-hand look at how good soil makes good vegetables. You're way faster than me.
It's very proficient, so.
That's true. If I was as good as you on my first day, that'd probably be a problem. But first, to the kitchen. All of today's recipes are available on pbwithj.ca. I've tried over the years to make a really good falafel, and it wasn't until someone told me to use dry chickpeas that it really came together. So they're not quite dry. What you're gonna wanna do is take a cup of chickpeas and soak them overnight, but don't cook them. You wanna keep them just hydrated, and that's about it. So we're gonna put those into our food processor, and then we're just gonna mix everything else in. Some lemon juice, chopped up onion. You could just do a clove of minced garlic. I have a little bit of roasted garlic, so I'm gonna use that because it's gonna add a little extra pop of flavor. Fresh parsley, about 2 tablespoons of tahini. And then we got our spice mix, which is turmeric, cumin, salt, and pepper. And then we're just gonna pulse this until it's nicely combined. Yeah, that's what you're looking for right there. I recommend getting some water just to wet your hands down. It's gonna keep everything from getting too sticky. I like to make probably about 10 to 12 balls here. Kind of the size of a golf ball, I guess. Tends to work. I mean, the texture is just gonna be kind of weird. You just wanna hold it together. It's gonna feel like it'll fall apart really quickly, and it does. So just hold it together enough to make a ball shape. Okay, so this made about a dozen or so. If I was at home, I would use my air fryer at around 375 degrees, but here at the farm, I have a convection oven, which does more or less the same thing. I'm gonna put this on and check it around 10 minutes, and that should be just enough to get these nice and crisp. These ended up cooking more like 15, 20 minutes inside the convection oven, but on my air fryer at home, it's usually around 12 minutes. Just keep on cooking until they get a nice little brown on them. You can put these in a salad, you can put them inside of a falafel, drizzle them with tahini. There's so many different ways to enjoy these. I love to put them with a little bit of mustard. They're crunchy on the outside, soft in the middle. These are so good. I love these things. These also freeze really, really well, so you can make a giant batch and use them over and over again. So good. And now I'm off to Pfennings Organic, just outside of New Hamburg, Ontario. Pfennings has been operating for over 40 years and was one of the pioneers of modern organic farming in Ontario. And while their signature crop is carrots, they grow an amazing variety of vegetables that feed not only this region, but the GTA and parts of Quebec and the United States as well.
Right now we work with 50 different kinds of vegetables. There are some major ones, like spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, onions. They take a big portion of our acreage.
So there's very little waste when it comes to what you grow.
There's basically no waste because even though what would be called waste will turn into compost and it goes back onto the field.
The most important element to good organic produce is good soil, and Pfennings starts with their compost.
The carbon taken out of the air, put in the soil, is one good thing for the air, but it also is good because it buffers nutrients. If you have high carbon soil, those crops endure the drought much, much better than if you have low carbon soils. It's like livestock, you have to feed it every day.
Take care of it and love it.
And we feed the compost. Leek leaves and leek roots really make the compost go.
Oh, great. It's nice how it all kind of goes together.
Yes.
He's a very nice person, and he's like a lecturer. You know, lecturing to a university, he's always lecturing, and then you're able to sit and to listen and to gain wisdom.
Between now and October, we'll plant all empty fields in cover crop with rye, and the rye will grow and hold the nutrients over the winter and the erosion, and then in the spring we'll plow it and start planting. So whatever remains behind breaks down between now and spring, and then it's food again for the next plants. It's like the plant's putting out cookies, the microorganisms come and bring it. And the way the soil food web works, that everybody involved in that deal leaves a little more than it takes. Imagine society would work like that.
Wouldn't that be beautiful? And you also switch out, so one crop here,
Yes.
like this might not be leeks next year, right? This would be something else.
Correct. Yes, this all will be carrots next year.
Amazing.
Leek and carrots like each other.
You can just looking at it, you know it's good organic soil.
Yes. Yeah, the soil is very good here.
Wolfgang sends me out into the field to gather some vegetables for my bowl.
Little driveway coming across and they'll be there.
And I come across a group of workers picking cilantro. They tell me that today alone they'll pick around 7,000 bunches that will be in the store within 48 hours. Is there a technique?
Not really.
So you have to join with everybody. You use your hand as a scale, and then
Okay.
it registers right here. I've been doing this over so many years, so simple.
That's the weight.
Yeah.
All right. Is that too high? Did I mess it up? You want to get the root, right?
Yeah.
That's bad? That's good.
Yeah. Just then knock it in like this. Go like this. Yeah. Take the yellow leaves apart.
You're way faster than me.
It's my profession, so
That's true. If I was as good as you on my first day, that'd probably be a problem.
yeah, that's true.
A couple little stragglers.
Then we could take a little bit more.
Because half of it was no good.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's not cilantro. How's that weight? I think that's pretty good.
This is perfect.
Ah! I waved the knife. That was bad. And we just go around once?
Two times.
2 times.
Yeah.
I braid my daughter's hair so I can do this. Look at that.
Perfect. Only one thing.
Uh-oh.
This is upside down.
Ah! Wolfgang got mad at me.
At the store level, it needs to look perfect.
Get the mud off. Oh, we'll put that in. I want this to go to the store.
Please, no problem. So you did a great job.
Thank you.
You're employed, okay?
I'm employed?
Yeah.
It makes me happy to know how much attention to detail goes into every hand-picked bunch. And now, back to my farm. One of my go-to plant-based staples is making soup or stew from scratch, and it's not as hard as you would think. And what's really great about it is that you can use up vegetables in your fridge that are maybe getting close to their expiry date. And you could also just use up any beans, any flavorings. It really is a choose-your-own stew. I always start with a little bit of onion, so I've already been sauteing that inside the pan. Now we're gonna add our liquid. So I've just got some vegetable broth, a can of diced tomatoes. We're gonna put the whole thing in, liquid and all. Put a cup of tomato sauce, 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. That's gonna add a nice little salt to the dish. A little balsamic vinegar in there. And now I'm gonna put a little bit of maple syrup in here, and what that's gonna do is that's just gonna help the acidity from all the tomatoes in there and just kind of round out the flavors of the dish. And then we're gonna add some kind of a plant-based protein. Here I have a whole bunch of kidney beans and chickpeas. There's about 2 or 3 cups cooked in there. And then you want to add about 6 cups of vegetables. Do a mixture of starchy, non-starchy. For my starch, I'm just using frozen butternut squash. I got some mushrooms. And then I just have a bunch of other things. I think there's some carrots, some zucchini, and some yellow peppers in there. So this thing is overflowing. We're gonna stir that all around. And we're also gonna add now some more seasonings. Here I have about 3 to 4 teaspoons of different seasonings. I've got garlic salt, rosemary, sage in there, and I'm gonna add salt and pepper to taste. So I'm doing this in an Instant Pot. I'm going to cook it for 15 minutes on manual. If you're doing this on the stove pot, bring it to a boil and leave it for about 40 to 45 minutes. Just keep on letting it cook until the vegetables have softened enough to your liking. So we cooked this for 15 minutes in the pressure cooker. And now we just want to add, oh, look at that steam. Now we're gonna add our kale. Again, you can use spinach if you want. We'll mix it around. And I just want to give it a few minutes for that just to soften inside of there. And then this delicious stew will be ready to consume. Oh, that smell is so inviting. And again, we just made this with what was left in the fridge. You could make a different soup every single week, just using whatever you've got. It is so comforting. Trying to get that perfect bite with a little bit of everything. It's like a warm hug inside of my body. It's rich and hearty and earthy from all those different vegetables and that butternut squash. And the beans just kind of melt in your mouth. If you don't like stew, we can't be friends. You guys want some soup? So we're gonna take that plant-based cheese that I made back in episode 1 for the nachos, and we are gonna make a super quick and delicious grilled cheese sandwich. So I'm just taking a little bit of dairy-free margarine and I'm spreading it on the back of some sourdough. I don't tend to use a lot of oil in my cooking, but this one I can taste, and what's grilled cheese without a little bit of butter on it? So now what we're gonna do is just slather on that cheese we made the other day for the nachos. You really can't get too much on here because it's just pure deliciousness. I'm using a sandwich press here, but if all you have is a frying pan, that's fine too. Just cook it on one side until it browns, flip it over, and cook it some more. It's pouring out the edges. Look at the way that cheese is just oozing over the side. I definitely put way too much in this, but I don't care. That beautiful golden crisp on top of the sourdough, oh my goodness. It makes me so happy. This brings me back to childhood, when I would just sit on the couch and watch cartoons and have tomato soup and eat grilled cheese and just be happy for forever. That's what this is. This is happiness in a sandwich. I'll get to you in a second. I'm eating grilled cheese.